Hi, guys. I hope everyone is doing well today. It is Tuesday, the 26th of September. We are well into fall, or actually just into fall here. I love fall. It is my most favorite time of year. It is the time when I enjoy being outside, enjoy relaxing, enjoy just everything about pumpkins and pumpkin, but not pumpkin spice, because cinnamon and I do not agree with each other. So today we are continuing our discussion on exercise, and you're probably like sick of exercise at this point, and I'm almost done talking about exercise in a way. Um, but this topic is a little different. It's on sleep and exercise, and how does sleep affect exercise? So if you've decided it's time for you to get healthy, you want to start moving more, you're ready to dive into that, do you actually start with the activity of exercise? And I say no. I think you actually have to start with sleep. Well, I think you really should start with nutrition. I think everybody knows that by now. That's what Amanda thinks that you should do. But the second place you should start is sleep. So today's discussion is going to be brief, but I think very informative. I did an earlier episode this year on sleep and weight loss. If you have not watched that episode, I recommend you go back and watch it. I don't remember exactly when it was, but it was talking about a study and a sleep intervention and how just changing the hours of sleep, regardless of what the diet was going on, changed the outcome for weight loss. So I think you should go back and watch that. I think it's very informative and a good place to link in with this discussion. So sleep, it is a biological need that is critical for humans. Without it, we can't survive. We definitely can't function cognitively. And this has been a well-established thing. And you've probably seen it in your own life. If you have a night where you've just been restless, you've not got good quality sleep, got a lot going on, the next day you're just not firing on all cylinders. And what do? We reach for that coffee or that stimulant to try to make us fire on all cylinders. But did you know that if you go for so long without sleep, your body literally is going to shut down on you. Your mind's going to start doing wicked things. You're going to start seeing things, hearing things, hallucinations, all kinds of stuff. So sleep is important. We need it. We have to have it. It is important for our health and our overall well-being. Sleep deprivation, it negatively affects several different systems of our body, particularly the immune system. So people who are chronically deficient on their sleep will get sicker easier. You will stay sicker longer. Illnesses will affect you more. It affects your endocrine system, so how well your metabolism is, but also that hormone insulin that we talk about a lot around here. Your blood sugars, if you don't sleep well and you have diabetes, your blood sugars are going to be way more up and down. It affects the cortisol, which is our stress hormone. It affects your thyroid, everything inside the endocrine system is affected by sleep. And then, as we discussed just a few minutes ago, your physical and cognitive function, you're not firing on all cylinders. So just that psyche side of things. Sleep extension, or getting more sleep, has a positive effect in several areas. So one is memory. We create more memories more readily when we sleep better and sleep longer. We also don't forget things as easily if you have slept better. So it can help with memory, helps with emotional regulation. And anyone who has ever had a toddler knows this for sure. If they didn't sleep, their emotions are everywhere. They're screaming. Well, us adults are that way too. We can be happy, sad, off the wall, bouncing on different emotions if we don't have adequate sleep. Affects the metabolism through cortisol. And I want you to go back and watch that video that we did earlier in the year on sleep and weight loss. It affects energy balance, how much we burn in a day. It affects our immune system positively as well. So if you get more sleep, you have a stronger immune system, and our stress recovery. And this is not just emotional, psychological stress, but also physical stress. So if your body has been taxed, it's been worked out heavily, and you go and rest, it helps with that recovery with that. It's recommended that we get 7 to 9 hours of sleep, and this is for the typical adult. If you are an athlete or you are a younger person, you actually need more than that. We're talking about a minimum of 8 instead of that minimum of 7, and you probably need closer to 8 to 10 hours instead of 7 to 9 hours. So if you're a heavy athlete or a younger person whose metabolism, they're still growing, you need more sleep that's there. Most people in the US, most adults struggle to get that 7 to 9 hours a night regularly. And why? It's all because of our lifestyles, because the typical American, how we live. We give ourselves less time to go to bed. We're busy keeping things going. We plan events, social events later in the evening than some other countries do. We don't prioritize that sleep. We do that social life. We have a lot of artificial light that keeps our brain stimulated, that makes us not want to go to sleep. We drink caffeine at all hours of the day, and we are more stressed on a regular basis. And all of those things impact our ability to go to sleep. So that's just a general overview of how sleep can affect your overall health, why it's important. Let's talk really quickly about two studies. And the first is going to kind of get that proof that sleep affects your ability to exercise. And the other one shows you how sleep increases your ability to exercise more effectively. So the first one, and I've linked the link, or I put the link to this in the show notes or in the comments below. It's called The Effects of Acute Sleep Loss on Physical Performance, a Systematic and Meta-Analysis Review. This is from 2022, so it's not that old. It's a pretty recent study. Basically, it is not a specific study, but it is looking at a whole bunch of studies and compiling the information so that you can have the best data from all of those. And they looked at 69 different studies in this. In all the studies, there were different types of exercise. And so they looked at power, strength, they looked at speed, they looked at endurance, and they looked at skill, like the cognitive reasoning, for example, like hitting a tennis ball. If you're having to match your speed with where you are in space and come up with a skill for that. So power, speed, endurance, skill, all of that. They were also looking at how the sleep or lack thereof affected the exercise the very next day. So not exercise overall, but the direct effects, like you didn't sleep, this is what it did to your exercise the next day. And what they found is when there was an acute loss of sleep, there was a negative effect on all metrics. So on power, speed, endurance, and skill. But it's worse on things that required skill and endurance. So things that required that cognitive thought process and things that have made us go for a long time. So think tennis, golf, running, those type of endurance and skill type things was what it affected most. But lack of sleep, and that was pretty consistent across all 69 studies, affected all of those. So power, speed, endurance, and skill. The second study, and this one, it is from 2023, so it's even newer than that one. It's called The Impact of Sleep Interventions on Athletic Performance, a Systematic Review. So they're again looking at the large body of the research and compiling it all so you can get the best data from all of it. So this compiled and summarized several studies using sleep intervention. It was a variety of interventions. None of the interventions were exactly the same. It was 25 total studies, and these were published between 2011 and 2021. The sleep interventions range from things like sleep hygiene, like going to bed, turning off electronic devices, cool, dark room, nice sheets, things like that, taking naps, sleep extension, just being in bed for longer, light manipulation, cold water immersion, which is, by the way, something I am never going to do. That sounds horrendous to me. Who wants to put their body in an ice bath? I hate being cold. Give me a sauna any day. Not doing water immersion. I don't care if it makes me lose inches off my waist. Not happening. Okay, that was a nice side note. Mindfulness was another strategy they used, and then they looked at studies that had a combination of all of those. What they found in these 25 studies was that sleep extension, so more time in beds, and naps were the most effective strategy to improve performance, both physical and cognitive. So they found one that increased sleep did improve things, but a lot of these other interventions didn't improve it very much. It was specifically taking a quick nap in a day, which is something that other cultures do better than America, or just spending more time in the bed that allowed both physical and cognitive performance. Now, they did mention that there's limited high quality data, meaning that more studies that are more specific with a higher quality of data should be done on this. But I think it's pretty telling when you have 25 studies that all point to a positive next day performance when you get more sleep and a negative next day performance when you don't get more sleep. So there you have it. If you're ready to start your exercise routine, the first place you start is the night before, making sure you're rested, making sure you're ready to go so that you're going to have the energy and the ability to move and do things that you want to do and come out with less possible injuries. That was something else I didn't touch on, but there's also studies out there that show when you get more sleep, you have less injuries from your exercise and your sports that's out there. Don't forget that the Give and Gobble race, that amazing race that is done here in Dixon, Tennessee, supports the Dixon County Help Center, a very worthy cause, is just a 58-day away. It's still time to get in there to either train and get ready for the 1K or the 5K. You can walk or you can run. Get that quick thing in before you go to your Thanksgiving activities. I think early bird registration ends really, really soon. So hop on it if you want to join them and haven't done it yet. Until next time, guys, have a great week.